mindful that Heathrow extension is a big deal as well here. What's your line on it?
I think we've all got something to say on that, but I'll start. 100% against it. We can't cope with any more air traffic here. We already have a significant amount, and I think having more planes going over is going to have a terrible effect environmentally and quality of life in terms of things like teaching. There's schools in Southall where I don't see how they can teach if they've got planes going over every minute. And another worry I'd have is just that if you have a huge expansion there, potentially that's more visitors to the UK having to use the tube, use services to get to central London or wherever it is that they're going, and then possibly encouraging more people to come here, possibly for work and things like that, and just increasing the burden on this area. And if you go to Southall, it's already a very busy area, and lots of traffic and planes already, and I just don't think it's feasible at all. My suggestion would be to look at other alternatives, possibly expanding an airport in Birmingham or on the other side of London, or not at all, because environmentally planes are having a bad effect, and I think we need to majorly rethink how many planes we need taking off and landing all over the UK.
Yeah, no, I would echo that. I mean, I think we need to look at more regional airports. Why should everyone have to come to London to take their plane? And we should look at developing more rail links. Yeah, I think for all the reasons Anthony outlined, environmentally it doesn't make sense. For an infrastructure point of view, it's not a good idea. The Labour group was against any expansion, and the 3 MPs as well, who I think all resigned their PPS positions that they had.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, I think locally the Labour Party and the Labour group on the council, the Labour MPs and Labour candidates are all opposed to Heathrow expansion, and we think the priority in terms of transport infrastructure should be on other things, especially Crossrail, that will be very important to Ealing, and it's very important that that goes ahead and isn't cut back, and high-speed rail links to other parts of the UK. And the bus service as well. There's a need for improvements in the bus service here in Ealing, which currently is being cut back by Mayor Boris Johnson. And we think public transport around here needs improving and needs more infrastructure. But Heathrow expansion is the last thing that we need.
Just one more point on that I'd make, and that is people might not be aware, but in order for Heathrow to expand, they actually have to destroy a whole town called Simpson. So it's not like there's a big load of space ready just to be turned into a runway. You're talking sort of 1,000 people or something just being uprooted and moved on. And that's just terrible, really. They've run out of room in that area. As far as I can see, I've been on protests around Simpson and the sort of surrounding area. There just isn't enough room there to build another runway. We're in a very condensely packed part of the country, and we've run out of space, basically.
How are you trying to get people to vote for you then? How are you trying to get them?
Several different ways, but the main one's just, I'd say, knocking on the doors and talking to them about the issues and seeing how they feel at this time and what their voting intentions are, and then the whole social media network as well, that Rupa's a bit more qualified to talk on than myself, but I'd say that's another side that we're doing it. One other thing is also just delivering newsletters and things. We had a huge campaign at Christmas where, not so much in this area, but in Northfields, we delivered a Christmas card from the MP and a calendar, just to sort of let people know that he was there, and if they're unaware that who their MP is and everything, and that he was sort of wishing them a happy Christmas. So lots of different tactics, but there's a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's the good old-fashioned methods of knocking on doors, making ourselves known to people, identifying issues, all the stuff Anthony said. I mean, yeah, we do also have a Facebook page. I have a blog, rupahuq.co.uk. And I don't think any of us are tweeting yet, are we? That's one thing.
Not at the moment.
Are you a
No,
secret tweeter?
No.
That's something I've steered clear of today. I mean, the thing is, the modern candidate might have a blog, a Twitter feed, a Facebook page, all of those things. But I mean, what they really need is an army of volunteers to knock on doors, stuff envelopes, all that kind of thing. Even press coverage in the local media. That's the sort of thing that wins elections. Online campaigning is an interesting diversion, but it's offline that the election is won or lost.
Yes, that's right. We're using new media techniques like web pages and blogs and so on. But really, most of our effort goes into the old tried and trusted techniques of walking down streets, knocking on doors, and talking to people face to face, finding out what they think, and demonstrating to them how we can take up their concerns and how we can do a good job for them. And that's generally what it that's generally the sort of thing that impresses people at the end of the day more than anything else.
I mean, one final thing that's happened in Southall that we haven't done here, but would possibly be to go around the businesses and to talk to them about how they feel and whether they would have a Labour poster up in their window. In Southall, that's been very successful because I went down Southall High Street with the MP Vrinda Sharma. Most of the businesses were really happy just to have posters up and sort of pledge their support. That said, I mean, there's possibly a slight cultural difference there because it's a very sort of first generation Asian area. So it might be easier to do it there than here, but it's definitely something to think about. And also maybe at some point doing a stall in kind of Northfields Avenue where people can kind of come to us and talk about how they feel. That might be something. No firm plans to do that, but it's something we're possibly considering.